Hello, my name is Mariah Kuda. I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy surgery on May 22nd of 2020 from Dr. Scott Allen Bovard at WakeMed Cary Hospital. My highest weight was 322.6 pounds. My weight the day of surgery was 305 pounds, and my weight as of this morning was 223.4 pounds. So less than a pound away from 100 pounds lost. So that's pretty exciting. I wanted to make this video today largely nutrition based. I've been very busy lately with helping my family move and my little brother with virtual school and working, and things have just been a little hectic, but I'm just gonna try to go ahead and get it out there because there are some things that have been on my mind. I just recently had my 6-month post-op visit with Dr. Bovard, and I recorded a little interview of his that I'd like to include in this video, where he answered the question, like, what is the key to success after bariatric surgery? So some things that I just want to cover first are like personal, and then I'll move on to that. So an exciting news, I had my blood work done at my 6-month post-op visit, and I don't need to take thyroid medication anymore. So that's really exciting. About 2 years ago, when I got diagnosed with hypothyroidism, that was when this health journey really began. I stopped cycling and I was infertile, and it started because of that. So it's really exciting to see that health problem go away. I know that's not always the case for everybody. There's different types of thyroid issues, but mine personally just wasn't autoimmune related. So I am really grateful for that. As far as hair loss, that has slowed down a little bit, or it's just at least stayed consistent, but it hasn't been too bad. I mean, there's definitely less hair than there was before, and it's a little bit brittle, but it's not horrible. I've been taking my vitamins every day still, so that's good. I am not journaling or really tracking my food, but I'm trying to just be mindful and conscientious of what I eat. I know in my last video I talked about that quite a bit, about being able to eat things in a normal, healthy, balanced diet without feeling very guilty about it. But I feel like my mindset has sort of changed, not completely, but since my last video, I feel like I've been a little bit better about really prioritizing eating how I should and being more strict for myself. But of course, if I do indulge, if I do have something there, here or there, it's just a part of life. There's going to be a natural ebb and flow to how I eat. I'm not going to be able to be on my absolute top game every single day. That's just not sustainable for the rest of your life. But it's important to make those good decisions 90% of the time. So when I had my meeting with Dr. Bovard, I also had my meeting with my nutritionist. And one thing that I thought was really important that she said is that I'm at 6 months post-op, and that's a very common time for people to stall in their weight loss. And I feel like that was starting to happen for me. My weight loss was kind of slowing down, and I was starting to crave sugar a lot more. And she said that the key at this point is to be eating enough, to be making sure every time I eat a meal that I'm pushing myself to the edge of full. I eat enough that it's not like an uncomfortable tightness, and like you can feel it in your chest. That's pretty common for people that have had VSG. Really filling up on lean meats, lean proteins, and then topping off with leafy vegetables, fibrous vegetables. And so that is the key to staying full and to losing weight, because you're giving your body all the nutrients it needs to make the fat irrelevant, so then it just falls off. So it's interesting because, you know, with the holidays, with Thanksgiving, I wasn't very meticulous about tracking anything. And I didn't lose weight during the week of Thanksgiving, which is fine, but I didn't gain, so I was happy with that. But then the days following, when I did try to really push myself to eat at least 5 meals a day, high in protein, and really push myself to the edge of full, I lost a few pounds that week. And it wasn't, I guess, 2 or 3. I don't remember exactly, but like that was really exciting to me to see, because I was starting to stall for a while, and it's definitely had been slowing down. So it was exciting to see that pushing myself to the edge of full, eating lean meats and vegetables really did help, and it really helped with my cravings because my body was truly satisfied and it didn't feel the need to supplement with those carby, quick energy fixes. So that's definitely been a benefit. And then of course I try to substitute healthier alternatives to sweets when I crave them. So Yasso Greek yogurt bar is still one of my favorites. And then just like small measurements of things when I eat sweets, just keeping portions very controlled. I really enjoy fruit, so that's something that's more healthy to indulge in if I want something sweet. But yeah, just really trying to focus on the proteins. One place that I found, I know they're a franchise, but I don't know where all they're located, but I've been really, really liking the chicken salad chick. They have this chicken salad called the Dixie Chick, and it's like very oniony. My sister-in-law and mother-in-law would hate it, but I really like it. It's super good. I also found my nutritionist recommended these, I think the chicken chili lime burgers from Trader Joe's. They're just in the freezer section. Really inexpensive, really easy to make. So pairing that with some vegetables, I had that with some zucchini the other day and it was pretty good. But it was really amazing to me to see how quickly I would get satisfied. I wasn't necessarily full, but I'd eat for like 15 minutes, eat about half of the portion of protein and stuff, and I'd feel done. Like that's normally before I met with her where I would have stopped. But then throughout the day, I'd get hungry really quickly. I'd crave bad things. So I listened to what she said and I pushed myself to finish. And I, would take small bites, take my time to chew, end up taking about 30 minutes for the whole meal. But I would feel satisfied for hours at a time. And my bad cravings really did drop exponentially. So that's just really such a huge recommendation. Like it's something that I have for breakfast. I got a mini waffle maker off of Amazon. So I make a chaffle, which is something that people talk a lot about in the bariatric community, but it's just you whisk up an egg. I really like the Kraft fat-free cheddar cheese, and it's really high in protein, no fat. I feel like it's like 8 or 9 grams of protein for a serving. I could be wrong, but it's a good amount of protein. Anyway, so you turn on the waffle iron, put some of that cheese down, pour in the whisked egg, put some more cheese down, close it, and it cooks a little cheesy egg disc. Some people make it as a sandwich, but I just stack that, and then I have great value turkey sausage that that's been a breakfast that I've been really enjoying, and it's 16, that's without the cheese. Without the cheese, 16 grams of protein, and a really good size. So I'm just really trying to work on eating 3 to 4 ounces of protein in a meal. My biggest hurdle is being prepared. I feel like I can buy groceries, but then be like, I don't really know what this makes. And I don't love meal prepping for myself personally because I get sick of things really quickly, which is annoying. So I kind of struggle with nausea and just getting grossed out by food really easily. And it's super annoying. I feel like it does stem from when I'm overly hungry or my body needs protein. So then it just gets really sensitive. So that's just something I'm trying to work on. I haven't been as great about my water intake, but I'm trying to be better. I'm not consistently horrible about it, but I'll have like a couple days where I'm really good at hitting the 64 ounces and then a couple days where I'm under. So I'm trying to be better about like earlier in the day, setting a timer for 30 minutes right when I'm finishing my meal. So I go ahead and work on getting my water in right after, because a lot of times it's easy to be like, oh, I have to wait, I can't drink yet, but then forget, and then go straight to, oh, it's time to eat, I'm hungry, and just skip the water altogether. So I'm trying not to do that. My surgeon says that you can drink water right up until you eat, but you have to wait 30 minutes after to eat, and that's just to make sure that the food has time to absorb and you don't get overfull. So now there's a couple things that I wrote down that I wanted to share about like eating tips at earlier stages. So I just shared tips that are like for anyone on normal texture foods, for tips for that. But for people that are in the liquid diet and like really early post-surgery phase, I don't remember if I covered this in my earlier video, so I just wanted to share. It's really important for when you're getting your fluid and your protein in to have 15-minute intervals that you focus on. What my dietitian, they suggested having like around the clock, the first 15 minutes, you get your protein fluids in, and then the next 15 minutes, the next 3 15-minute segments, you get fluids in, hydration fluids in. And that can be hard. I personally did not like protein shakes after surgery. I really can't stomach them very well, but at the beginning stage, you kind of don't have much of a choice. You don't have a lot of variety. So one thing that my nutritionist also recommended that really helped was diluting my protein shakes with the Fairlife no fat, so like the light blue, diluting it with that so they weren't too sweet, because that milk has no fat and like 13 grams of protein in a cup. So if anything, it gives you, I mean, it does dilute it, but it gives you some more protein while doing so. So I liked the Fairlife Core Protein and diluting it with that. And the Premier Protein Caramel, that used to be my favorite, my go-to. Don't really like it anymore, but diluting those and making sure to get those every 15 minutes really helped me. I would be able to get 2 to 4 ounces in each 15 minutes. And I just got little 2-ounce cups from like Walmart, the disposable cups, and I just reuse the water ones. As for hydration fluids, I have a hard time with artificial sweeteners. A lot of times they give me stomach aches. So I really like Body Armor Light. Those are something that I've been really enjoying lately. They do have a high carb content, but a lot of that carb is from fiber. It's not from sugar. They don't have added sugar, so the sugar is actually pretty low. And so I really enjoy those. I think the taste is nice and they're not sweetened with artificial sweeteners. But if you do need to go the artificial sweetener route, for me personally, I was able to stomach Powerade a lot better than Powerade Zero. So those are things that I liked. I had a really hard time for the longest time with tap water, and I had to get bottled water, which was a little frustrating. But I found that if water is hard for you to stomach, try different pHs and try different like types. And that, I feel like a lot of things that are hard to stomach at first, your body will do better with time. So let's see. I think the secret, I want to try to include some stuff of my non-scale victories, some before and afters, some things, make it a clippy thing, and then also include the interview from Dr. Bovard. But yeah, I feel like the biggest hurdle is just making good habits that really last. I do feel like I've changed my mentality with food in a positive way since surgery. I do feel like I view food as fuel, and I don't have guilt and embarrassment all tied up with it, which is really good. I have food that I enjoy, I have food that I dislike. Now I feel like my hurdle is preparation and just like having the self-discipline to make sure I have healthy choices available. So that is something that I'm working on. I have found there are these bento box snack containers that I got off Amazon that I really like, so I'll try to share those. And just trying to be prepared, trying to be smart about how I feel my body so that I can make the most of this surgery and this tool. And then also trying to be more positive about just making good habits and not self-sabotaging, finding healthy coping mechanisms and ways, because I used to be a very emotional eater, borderline binge eater. So now, like when I feel emotional or overwhelmed, finding healthy ways to cope with that are unrelated to food. And also trying to move my body because I enjoy it, not because I feel obligated to, but because it's something that makes me feel better and that is fun. I went with my little brother and my dad on a walk the other day, and their neighborhood has all these like body weight machines. So that was fun. I was up and I was moving, and I wasn't thinking about reps and weights, but just enjoying myself. And I like being able to feel more mobile. I like being able to feel more agile, and I feel better. I really do. I have a long way to go still, but I feel like I've come so far already. And I really appreciate those of you that follow me and have asked questions, because I feel like having a little community has really helped me stick to my guns and helped me be better, because I want to be able to be an example and to be a help to people. So thank you for watching. I'm sorry this has taken so long to upload, and even though I kind of tried to make an outline, I still ramble. But I hope to get this up really soon and include some cool pictures, helpful meal tips, and Dr. Bovard's interview. Thank you. All right, do you want to introduce yourself first?
Hi, I'm Scott Bovard, bariatric surgeon.
All right, what do you think is the key or some keys to long-term success?
This is all about food, 100%. It's not about the surgery. There's nothing magic about surgery at all. There's no way I can turn a Big Mac into salmon, okay? But I can give you superpowers. I can give you abilities so that you can make a better decision. And then I give you the knowledge of what that decision should be. So the key to any success, short-term, long-term, is all about food, because that's all you really are. And one of the problems that people have is after they get bariatric surgery, they think, well, I go on a super diet, and they eat less. They try to burn more calories by going out and running and taking in fewer calories and burning more calories. And it doesn't work if you're not eating well enough, if you're not eating as often as you should, and you're not making the right choices. So there's a bit of a struggle there, and people get frustrated. But the fact of the matter is there's nothing magic about it at all. You have to eat 6 times a day, and once that happens, you don't need fat on your body anymore, and the body will get rid of it. And I think that is the biggest difference between people who do very well with surgery and people who do meh. Yeah. Or even worse, gain weight back. Yeah. Anybody out there watching this that has had surgery and you gain weight back, ask yourself one question: how many times a day do you eat? And if you're falling back into the old habits of eating once or twice a day, you'll never lose weight. You'll just gain it back.
Mm-hmm. Right? And then I think people get burnt out and they start to eat not the right foods because it's too hard. So
and
that's a vicious cycle.
If you're not eating often enough, you start to get hungry again. Mm-hmm. And once you're hungry, you're stupid, right? You start making irrational decisions based off of instinct. Yeah. And that's when we choose bad foods. So it's instinctual. It's not a judgment call on anybody. I do the same thing. Everybody does. So if you don't let yourself get hungry, then you're not going to make that bad decision.
All right. And then another little question I had is, like, what rules do you think are outdated?
I think the no straws are stupid. I think no caffeine, that doesn't make sense to me. There is a little bit of a medical reason for it, right, perioperatively, because it's a diuretic. The caffeine is a mild diuretic, makes you pee. And if you're already a little bit dehydrated because of your pre-op and post-op diet, then maybe that's not the best thing to do. But totally cutting it out, I don't think that's necessary in any way. And I don't make my patients do that. Chewing gum, I don't care about. Drinking carbonated beverages, if you can do it, fine. Don't drink regular sodas. It doesn't make any sense at all. But if you want to drink Perrier, by all means drink Perrier. But if it doesn't agree with you because of the bubbles and makes you, just basically makes you burp, and if it hurts to do that, then don't. Yeah. But otherwise, go ahead.
All right. And then any other words of wisdom you want to share?
No, that first question was really a very, very key point that I think most bariatric surgeons miss. I know a lot of people who they're great surgeons, and that's really what they key on is, I'm a surgeon, I'm going to do the surgery. And then they give it up to somebody else, like a dietitian or a nurse practitioner or somebody else, to kind of follow the patients. And they're not as deeply, involved as a full practice. There are a lot of really, really good dietitians out there, but you got to think about this. A lot of them are very overwhelmed with the number of people that they have to see. They're not going to be able to connect and talk to somebody. And I think that's what you really need to do. You need to get somebody to change their mind about how they should do things and how they should eat. Not only give them the information to do it, but you got to make them believe that this is absolutely what it is. And that takes a little bit of connection between the provider and the patient. And if you can get that done and give them the right information, there's no reason why everybody can't be successful.
Thank you. This was my first time ever doing the stairs machine, and holy moly, that is an efficient form of cardio. I only did it for, I think, 3 minutes in total, and I clearly, as you can see, was just about dying. I need to do it more. I'd like to challenge myself with it, but geez Louise, it was something else. This is some turkey bacon and a bagel thin. I just had half of it with some fresh raspberries on top. I've been trying to have fresh fruit instead of jam where I can, and of course it doesn't taste quite the same, but it gets the job done. This is decently tasty. This is one of my favorite sweet treats. It's a chocolate rice cake with hazelnut Bovard butter spread and crushed raspberries on top, and it is really good. Personally, one of my faves. These pictures are really hard to scale. I am sorry, but here on the left there is a cheesecake dip that I ate with fresh strawberries, and I used this Fage Greek yogurt 0% fat, and I mixed it with sugar-free Jello mix, and just till it's like a cheesecakey consistency. I didn't have an exact measurement, but it's a good amount of protein in there with some fresh strawberries, so it's curbing your sweet tooth but giving you some good amounts of protein. This is some chicken lettuce wraps, deconstructed, of course, but I just did some ground chicken, onions, cabbage, sauteed with some brown sugar, soy sauce. Pretty tasty. Inspired by P.F. Chang's lettuce wraps. Was it as good? No, but it did the trick. This is deconstructed stuffed bell pepper with lean ground beef, bell peppers, onion, spinach, sauteed with some seasonings. Pretty tasty. This is my little charcuterie board. That's Cabo cheese, C-A-B-O-T. It's their like light 75, high protein, very low fat. Turkey breast, some fruit. I like it. Here's my most recent before and after picture. On the left, I am 322.6 pounds the day before I started my pre-op diet. And on the right, 6 months post-op, 226.8 pounds. And feeling a lot better. Here is my Instagram account. I use it a lot more often than my YouTube. Obviously, it's a lot easier to upload something on there. But I share a lot of foods and before and after pictures, and I am always open to answering any questions or having conversations if you need to talk to somebody. Thank you for watching.